don't give a fuck how many times we get it, we bump heads.
That's real.
You make me mad. I'm in love with you. Don't down with me. I need you.
Man, so people saying Memphis rapper Fast Cash C Money just passed away. But the people that don't recognize him, he had the viral song High Off Me that went viral. If I ain't tripping, I think that's his biggest song, but he sadly just passed away.
How I feel right now? 100%. I don't with nobody. And I'm finna make everybody regret playing with me.
So, Big Boogie just slipped and revealed that C Money might have been sacrificed. And who did he point the finger at? None other than his label boss, Yo Gotti. See, Boogie is done protecting CMG and Yo Gotti. He made that clear when he exposed the real reason why C Money got unalived and who stands to gain from his death. Boogie didn't just expose CMG's inner workings, he started a firestorm that is now threatening to burn down everything Yo Gotti and his label stand for. The message is clear, CMG is going under, and Boogie doesn't plan to stick around long enough to find out what that looks like. But now everyone's wondering, was C Money's death just another hit in Memphis or the biggest betrayal inside CMG?
What happened, gang? They just said my got killed.
So, what sparked this whole thing was when Big Boogie dropped this video on his social media where he talked about making someone regret playing with him. It's one of those super short ones where he didn't show his face at all, but from his tone, it's obvious that he wanted someone to get the message.
How I feel right now? 100%. I don't fuck with nobody. And I'm finna make everybody regret playing with me. That's all I gotta say.
At first, he had fans scrambling to understand what he was saying, but it became clearer when he followed up with another cryptic message on his IG story. He wrote, "I'm focusing on my daughter, myself, and my career. I ain't letting nobody get in my way. It's finna be 2026. I'm changing day by day as a man. People barely ask me about my mental. I barely even talk to anybody now. I don't care too. Everybody that ever played with me before made me this way. Today I'm focused because I see a bigger picture of my own life. Numb and grinding." He didn't mention Yo Gotti or C Money directly, but he didn't need to. The message was clear. Big Boogie was done. Fans caught the shade, and it didn't take time for them to connect the dots. Before Boogie's post, people already had their suspicions about C Money's death. It seemed too clean, too targeted. But Boogie confessing that he didn't care anymore and was numb was all the confirmation people needed, and that's what blew the whole thing wide open. As y'all know, Fast Cash C Money was unalived during a shootout that went down in the Fraser neighborhood of Memphis. It's not clear what really led to the incident, and at first everyone thought it was just senseless gun violence. However, that changed the minute the raw, unedited footage of the incident hit the internet. Suddenly, it looked less like a random act of violence and more like a targeted hit. That little seed was all fans needed to start digging into the incident. And what they found changed everything we thought we knew about this case. As it turns out, C Money knew something was about to go down weeks before he got unalived. And he didn't plan to just leave his girlfriend and kids without anything. That's why he had been working so hard to seal the deal with Yo Gotti and get signed to CMG. But that's not all he did. According to sources, C Money also got a life insurance policy as a backup plan for his girlfriend and little kids. And that move? It's not that surprising considering everything else that's going on with CMG, but what's really shocking is the fact that after his death, his girlfriend Kaya set up a GoFundMe to handle his funeral costs and set aside some money to take care of the kids. She added the link to a Facebook post where she left him a sweet tribute. She wrote, "Courtney taught me so much. So happy we got to love on each other. You took my heart with you for real. All I can do is play your music to hear your voice." And this left people shocked. Yeah, C Money was still up and coming, but he didn't seem like the type to leave his family high and dry. And if the rumors check out, then he had been making plans for what would happen to his loved ones if he died. A leaked document containing some parts of C Money's contract went viral on Reddit just days after his death. And apparently, he was set to receive an unspecified amount from CMG after he died. But that money, poof, gone with the wind. On top of that, many people expected Yo Gotti to step up and do something for C Money's family. The guy was clearly affiliated with CMG, and whether Gotti liked it or not, that put a target on his back. But all they got from Gotti was silence. No posts, no tributes, no visits, no cash, just nothing. And that silence? It was basically a confirmation of what everyone had been thinking. Gotti might have sacrificed C Money to cash in, leaving his family high and dry. For context, C Money had just gotten signed to Yo Gotti's record label CMG a day before he got unalived. In the footage that got released, you can see him and his friends celebrating his new contract when a car pulled up and opened fire on them. According to police reports, several homes had been shot up during the incident, but somehow only C Money ended up losing his life. Coincidence? Or was the shootout just a diversion while the real operation to unalive C-Money took place? Now here's where it goes from interesting to very scary. C-Money was already doing well as an artist before Yo Gotti took him under his wing, but the contract was supposed to take his career to the next level. However, he eventually realized that he and Yo Gotti were not on the same page. While he was thinking of making better career moves, Gotti seemed more focused on what C-Money could do for the label. C-Money wanted to have meetings, sign documents, make rollout plans. But Gotti, he just acted like this wasn't a serious deal. C-Money didn't miss any of the red flags, but what really made it hit home for him was when Gotti started making some seriously shady moves. Anybody familiar with Memphis street politics knows the amount of tension surrounding Yo Gotti's CMG crew and Young Dolph's PRE crew. This is a place where beef runs deep. After Young Dolph's murder, many people pointed fingers at Yo Gotti and his brother Big Jook. Some even speculated that Big Jook was the one who ordered the hit. This meant that everyone was watching CMG's every move. And this got even worse when Hernandez Govan was arrested in connection to Young Dolph's murder. Because Govan was a close friend to Big Jook, it wasn't that hard for people to draw the connection. So when Big Jook lost his life in a similar incident, some called it karma and others called it revenge. But what nobody knew was that things were about to get much worse. See, Yo Gotti runs a tight ship when it comes to CMG. Over the years, he got this mob boss reputation, and that's pretty much his approach when it comes to his artists. Total control, obsession with loyalty, and a love of hierarchy. You don't disrespect the boss unless you want to face his terror. And for the most part, the artists were happy to go along with it. They were all winning. From Glorilla to 42 Dugg, Moneybagg Yo, and Black Youngsta. CMG had the roster that everyone wanted, but things started to lose form after Young Dolph's murder. That mob boss style people once praised Gotti for? It suddenly became a reminder of everything that was wrong with gang activity. One by one, CMG artists started falling off. And now, the only person still keeping the label popping is Glorilla. But one artist is not enough to keep a label running. And for Yo Gotti, this wasn't the empire he imagined for himself when he built his label. So he started making some silent moves, laying low, posting less. Word is he even started revising some of his artists' contracts. Yo Gotti was trying hard to switch the narrative in favor of his crew again, and the only way he could do that was to cut off everyone who didn't get with the program. Take Black Youngsta, for example. Black is easily one of Gotti's most loyal guys. He's the muscle. The guy Gotti calls to shake things up. The guy who's not afraid to do things Gotti wouldn't even touch with a 5-foot pole. And this kind of loyalty? It worked in his favor when Gotti was still with the whole mob thing. But now that he's taking the label in a whole new direction, it has become a liability, so he needed fresh faces to fall back on. And that's where C-Money came in. But the thing is, Gotti had different plans for him. And at first, he brushed off all the red flags. But by the time Gotti started making those suspicious moves, he realized he made a huge mistake by associating himself with CMG. Not only did that put a target on his back from Gotti's ops, it also put his life at risk in the label. Because the truth was, Gotti wasn't looking for a new artist. He was looking for an escape plan, and that's what C-Money was to him. Now, the entire CMG crew was devastated when the news about Fast Cash C-Money's death hit, but Boogie seemed most affected by it. It was obvious from the first post he made about it. He wrote, C-Money Smith. Jesus, brother, I'm hurt to my heart, my favorite rapper from day one. I'm hurt about you, boy. He didn't just mourn, he had a whole breakdown. And that breakdown led to him canceling his birthday bash, which was supposed to be in Memphis. He dropped this news in a Facebook post where he wrote, I'm straight on Memphis. Birthday bash canceled. You guys lame forever. Boogie then tagged C-Money and added crying emoji. It was a short post, but he didn't need to write an essay. Those few sentences were enough. To outsiders, it might have seemed like just any other guy grieving his friend and colleague, but those who know how hot things have been in the rap world saw it for what it was, laying low to avoid more bloodshed. A lot of people felt this was the right call, and they didn't hold back in Facebook comment sections. They left comments like, that was a good idea, bro. You just saved people's lives. He threw a pool party in my city, Atlanta, cause he knew if he would have did it in Memphis, it would have went sour. Do your birthday bash in Atlanta, gang. But after his recent post, fans started noticing a pattern of cryptic messages he had been leaving ever since C-Money's death. In one, he wrote, everybody finna regret what they did and said. Watch this. In another, going silent is my final warning. At first, nobody paid attention, but now, with C-Money gone and Yo Gotti moving suspiciously quiet, those words feel less like random posts and more like warnings. And just when you think it couldn't get darker, Stan G came through with a chilling message. In a No Jumper interview, he straight up told Black Youngsta and the rest of CMG to watch their backs. Because, according to him, Yo Gotti has no problem cutting people off, not just from the label, but from life itself.
And dealing with them Texas boys, them folk got hit up. Them folk got hit up everywhere you go to, like the Fed watching it. You know what I'm talking about? He signed that boy over right here, that boy ended up going to jail. So they watching that boy so close right now because they you know what I'm talking about? The case is in August. You know what I'm talking about? I talked to Govan. I did an interview with Hernandez Govan, the dude who set the whole supposedly, you know what I'm saying, dog murder up.
That warning hit different, especially because it came while the whole crew was still mourning C-Money. Suddenly, all eyes shifted to Boogie, the only one bold enough to keep dropping hints and demanding answers. But here's the thing, if Gotti really played a role in C-Money's death, what makes Boogie safe? His silence right now isn't protection, it's a countdown. And the scariest part? If Gotti is already looking for his next fall guy, Big Boogie might be walking straight into the same trap that C-Money never made it out of. So now the question isn't whether C-Money was sacrificed, it's whether Boogie just exposed himself as the next target.